Have you ever felt like your relationship is slipping away and the person you love just isn't fighting for it? It hurts, especially when you know that there is something real there. But what if the reason they are not showing up isn't about how much they care, but how much they fear? In this video, we're diving deep into the psychology of avoidant attachment and why avoidant partners often won't fight to save the relationship, even with a person they really love. I'm Luna A. May, and I'm a life and attachment style coach and author of books on attachment styles. What attachment style are you? And understanding and overcoming anxious attachment. And I leave the links to my books in the description box below, so I encourage you to check them out. And today, I want to explore 4 reasons why avoidants pull away when relationships get hard. And moreover, what you can do about it without abandoning yourself in the process. So let's begin with a concept I call feelings minus fears. Avoidant individuals may have strong feelings for you, but those feelings are filtered through a lens of fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, fear of rejection. So imagine they feel a 9 out of 10 for you, but their fear level is at an 8. That leaves them with a net motivation of only 1, which is not enough to fully engage or fight for the relationship. And it's not that they don't care. It's that caring too much triggers emotional vulnerability they were never taught how to handle. Their feelings activate subconscious wounds, often from childhood emotional neglect, and suddenly the relationships they are in no longer feel safe. Have to know that their nervous system sees commitment as danger, so instead of leaning in, they shut down. Another reason why they don't fight for relationships is because many of them hold an unconscious belief that relationships should be easy. And this isn't because they are lazy or unrealistic. It's because they've never learned how to move through a conflict in a healthy way. So, if you grew up in a home where needs were ignored or where conflict was avoided, then you may never have seen emotional repair modeled. So, when an avoidant experiences tension or emotional friction, they see it as a sign that the relationship is broken instead of a normal solvable challenge. So, rather than lean in and work through it, they check out. They avoid, they distance, or they leave. Because in their world, love, that's right, shouldn't feel so hard. But the truth is, all real relationships require work. And that belief that love should be effortless is a major reason they don't fight for relationships when things get difficult. Another big reason avoidance won't fight for a relationship is flaw-finding. So when intimacy deepens and the relationship becomes emotionally significant, their inner fear kicks in. And to protect themselves, they begin looking for all the reasons this relationship will work. So they may suddenly become hypercritical, noticing every imperfection, doubting your compatibility, questioning your future together. And this is a subconscious defense mechanism. If they can convince themselves that you're not the right person, they can avoid the vulnerability of needing someone. So it's easier for them to reject rather than risk being rejected. What's really happening is this: they are trying to reclaim control. Flaw-finding creates emotional distance. It helps them to soothe their internal fear of abandonment by pre-abandoning the other person, often without even realizing it. Another reason why avoidants don't fight for relationships is because they don't know how to co-regulate. And secure relationships requires co-regulation. This means when you feel off emotionally, you can turn to your partner, express what you need, and let them help soothe you, and vice versa. Avoidants struggle with this deeply. Growing up, they likely learned to self-soothe in isolation. They were often praised for being independent or simply didn't have available caregivers. So the idea of leaning on someone else, even someone they love, can feel foreign and unsafe. And because of this, even when you're offering love, care, and generosity, it may not land. You might pour into them and they may not receive it. And it's not because they don't appreciate it, but because they don't know how to let it in. This can make the relationship feel one sided and draining, and the avoidant may interpret this emotional imbalance as something wrong, when in fact they just haven't learned how to co regulate. Okay, so what can you do when your avoidant partner isn't fighting for the relationship? First of all, set a clear internal deadline. Ask yourself, how long am I willing to stay in this dynamic if things don't shift? That might be 3 months, 6 months. It depends on the relationship history. But a deadline helps you step out of the gray zone and protect your emotional energy. Next, start healthy conversations around your expectations. So try gently exploring beliefs like, do you believe relationships should always be easy? Or do you think having flaws or conflict means a relationship is broken? And remember to invite reflection, not confrontation, because avoidants are often reasonable and logical. So framing things thoughtfully can create unexpected openness from their side. Also, learn how to communicate your needs clearly, positively, and with emotional clarity. So, what you can do is instead of saying, you never spend time with me, try saying something like, I really love our time together, and I'd love if we could have a little more of that each week. Paint a picture for them, be specific, and follow through. One conversation may not rewire their patterns, but consistency and patience go a long way. And at the end of the day, avoidants don't fight for relationships not because they don't care, but because they were never shown how to do it. But remember, you don't have to carry the entire emotional weight of the relationship. You deserve connection that's mutual, open, and healing. So support them with compassion, but always honor your own boundaries. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever been in a relationship where you were the only one fighting for it? What helped you find the clarity? Subscribe for more weekly videos on attachment styles and see you in the next one.